For the flipbook project, we talked about doing the Pleasantville effect, where your image starts in black and white and then turns to color, or vice versa, or one object is black and white, the rest is color. And you do that using the Desaturate method. And I just wanted to remind some of you how to do that in case you forgot from photo 1. So what happens is you open up your color picture. What's really important about this is you can't do anything to it. You cannot crop it. You cannot dodge and burn. Nothing happens before desaturation. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I really can't tell you why. Photoshop is just kind of picky like that. I don't know, but that's why. I mean, that's just what it is. So there. So what you want to do is go up to Image. No. Yeah. Yes, sorry. Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. There we go. Okay, and you'll see that everything's black and white. Now, the deal with desaturation, why that's different from choosing black and white, is when you choose black and white, it removes the color information, whereas when you desaturate, the color information is still present in the photograph. It's just brought down, like all the volume has been brought down. So it's still there, and you're going to see that if you go to the history brush over here, you want to right click and make sure it's the history brush, not the art history brush tool. I really can't tell you what this does. You can Google it if you want to. But the history brush tool is what we're interested in. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see what this does. And let's say I just want her in color and everything else black and white. I just brush over her, and just like the name of the brush suggests, it remembers the history of what happened before we desaturated it. This can be kind of tricky if you're not very skilled. You might want to do Command plus and zoom in or out. You can see here I kind of messed up and I got the green behind her face a little bit. There's a couple different things you can do for that, which we'll go over in a second. But this is the basic idea, right? Unfortunately with this, you can't really undo too much of it. I mean, I did all of that part in one swoop, so if I do edit step backward, it'll take away that part, but this part is still here. If you do get a mistake like this, what you can do is go into the sponge tool, and the sponge really works like a sponge, and if you just rub it back and forth, it will suck out the color from that space. Kind of like a sponge cleans up a mess. This will clean up your mess. But if I slip over here, it will also make that black and white. So you really do need to be careful. If you wanted to avoid that, what you can do, if you have a lot of patience and you want a super good grade, which is all of us, right? If you get the magnetic lasso tool, let's just say I wanted this tree, right? If you do a really good job and trace very carefully, once the lasso is completed, as you will see in a second, let's just pretend that's awesome, right? Then if you get the history brush, you can go crazy town in that space, and that one space will become color. And then Command D gets rid of those lines. Yeah, so that's the history brush tool and desaturation, just to show you how to do it. It works if you want one object in color. It also works the other way. If you want everything in color and one thing black and white, you can bring down the desaturation and just color in the background first. Or if you don't want to mess with desaturation at all and you have a small part that you want to make black and white, like I said before you go into the sponge, it shares the burn and the dodge tool space. So if you can't find it, right click one of those and it will be there. And it takes a little bit longer because you got to kind of go over and over and over the space, but you'll see now she's going back to black and white. So that's a really easy way to get that Pleasantville effect. And it's completely up to you how that's represented in your flipbook, whether it's a person or someone's fingernails, their eyes, the background. It doesn't really matter to me what it is as long as it's noticeable. So think about what would be easiest for you to achieve, because that effect needs to carry out throughout your story. All right.